Hi everyone, welcome back. This week I'm going to be doing a soap with loofah inside it. It's going to be a melt and pour soap. I know it's been a while since we've done melt and pour, but I thought it would be, a perfect time to do this type of soap. The first thing that I did was I let my loofah kind of soak in some water for about an hour or two, and then I tried to cut it. I'm using a cheese slicer. It kind of worked for me. But I ended up finding out that a knife worked a little bit better. I wanted my slices to be pretty thin, even thinner than the actual bar of soap that I'm going to make, because when you make loofah soap, like obviously the loofah can't go down the drain, so I didn't want to shred it really fine or anything like that, but I wanted it to be thin enough chunks so like as you use the bar of soap, you can remove like the excess loofah so there's not so much. It's kind of an experiment to see how I like it. So far I've been using the bar of soap and I really did like it. See that cheese grater where there's kind of shredding stuff. So I just took a knife and I kind of tried to cut these like about a ½ inch or less. The reason I did soak these is because it did make it a little bit easier to cut in my opinion. And also when we put them in the mold, you can tell like the loofah is actually kind of squishy. Versus it being super hard. One thing that you do want to keep in mind though when you're cutting the loofah is it does really dull down your knife, so I had to keep like using my knife sharpener to kind of get everything really sharp so that it would cut through the loofah a lot easier. So if you've never worked with it, that is something to keep in mind. I'm also using a shea butter white base for this tutorial, and I'm using a clear glycerin base. You can really use any base that you have. And I was kind of just trying to measure out about like how much would be for 4 ounces because I wanted to try a couple different fragrance oils along with a couple different color combinations and kind of see what I liked, since this is the first time that I made loofah soap with melt and pour soap. So you'll kind of see me like measuring out just a little bit here and there, and that's because, like I said, I'm just kind of experimenting with the design and seeing what I like. And I wanted to see how the little chunks of the loofah actually looked inside the soap. So once it was all melted down, I just went ahead and kind of measured out a little bit so that way I could tell how much fragrance oil I wanted to add and kind of go with it that way. So I got this round mold at Brambleberry, and I'll show another shot in a minute, and I went ahead and spritzed everything down before I added anything. But the fragrance oils that I got are all from Candle Science, and the colorants that I'm using are from Nurture. I like using Candle Science's fragrance oils. They're very comparable, I would say, to Wholesale Supply Plus. They even have the same names for a lot of them. Plus they come in little 1 ounce bottles, which is really cost effective, especially if you are just a hobby soaper or you do small batches of soap. And that's also why I like Nurture for their micas, because they do little 1 ounce bags. Anyway, I'm not affiliated with them. It's just what I like. This is the mold that I have. It's from Brambleberry. I just ordered this. I wanted like equal size round molds. I usually use a Pringle can when I do cold process, but I kind of wanted to step it up and just get more consistent with the soap size bars. So first I spritzed the mold like I said, and then I went ahead and I mixed in my mica just like I normally would. I was using a little bit more than I normally would with the mica because it is a white base, and I just wanted to make sure like the actual pigment was going to color it pretty good so it wasn't still kind of white. So I just, go ahead and dump a spoonful in, spritz it down with the rubbing alcohol, add the fragrance oil, and mix it for about a minute or two to make sure everything is fully incorporated, because you want to make sure the fragrance oil is mixed in really well along with the mica, because you don't want like chunks of mica throughout your melt and pour soap. Once everything was mixed, I kind of started to go ahead and put the little loofahs that I cut into the mold, and as I was putting them in there, I was taking out any pieces. Like you can see, they're just the flower buds. I know I got these loofahs off Amazon, and somebody's complaining there was bugs and stuff in there. I didn't have any issues with mine. Again, you can see they're kind of damp, so when I'm squishing them, Like, it makes it easy to go in the mold, and if you have a different shaped mold, it would be good to soak than before. I just wanted to point that out again. But I didn't have any issues with like bugs or anything in mine. They are loofahs, so they grow outside. I mean, it's not that big of a deal in my opinion, but I just kind of try to clean them up the best that I could. And then I spritzed them down really well with the rubbing alcohol. So that way the soap would stick. It kind of like sterilized it, just because, you know, like I'm touching them with my hands and stuff like that. So for that element, I didn't want like, I don't think mold grows on loofah, as far as I know, but I just kind of thought it would be a good idea. The only issue I had when I use these little cut up pieces is that you could kind of see like the loofah floats around a little bit, so I kind of just barely poured it in to sort of cover it, and then as I got the cavities filled, I just went ahead and went back and added more after I added the piece of loofah, if that makes sense. So I'm just kind of repeating this process. Like I said, I'm just using different colors, and I wanted to kind of experiment and see which fragrance oil I liked the best or held the best with the loofah. Honestly, I think they all smelled really good. I don't know that I have a favorite. I just really like ocean smells. I don't know if you guys have noticed that on the channel, but if you want to go ahead and leave a comment right now and let me know what like your favorite type of fragrance oil is. If it's like floral, do you like I said, ocean smells, musky smells, foodie smells? I know people love foodie smells. Every time I do craft shows, somebody's asking, and to me, that's just not my favorite, but they are pretty popular. So just go ahead and leave a comment down, like what appeals to you most, like as far as smells. I know that's kind of weird when I'm saying that out loud, but I'm just kind of interested what everyone else is interested in as well, because I'm always looking for new fragrance oils and stuff like that, and I love just trying out different things. So again, this is like the pink that I used to. I just, like I said, kind of mixed them in there. Some of the cavities weren't all the way full, so I just kind of did the different colors. And I just give these to friends and family. I don't sell them at craft fairs or anything like that. So I don't really have to worry as much about being like super precise with these. Like I said, just all for fun. I give all my soap away, and you know, I just like to share what I'm learning on the channel with you guys. So as you can see, I'm kind of placing in the little bits, and I went ahead and spritzed those down with rubbing alcohol as well. And then I'll spritz them again before I pour more soap on it. I don't remember if I got all of that on camera or not. I decided to do a little bit of the clear glycerin because I wanted like a cool design on these. So I kind of waited till the solid color soap base got a little bit, you know, cooled down and solidified, and then I started adding the clear with it so that it would like kind of float, you know, so it wouldn't stick to the bottom or anything like that. So you can kind of see, because I wanted the loofah like to be transparent, or not the loofah itself, but the soap to be transparent so you can see the loofah on both sides. So that way people know that it's all the way in there. Overall, I think these came out pretty neat. I think I'll try this again. I'm going to work on a cold process video as well with loofah, because I just like cold process soap better. It's just my opinion, guys. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.